يا من هو الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الرحمن الرحيم الملك القدوس السلام المؤمن المهيمن العزيز الجبار
المتكبر الخالق البارئ المصور الغفار القهار الوهاب الرزاق الفتاح العليم
القابض الباسط الخافض الرافع المعز المذل السميع البصير الحكم العدل اللطيف الخبير الحليم العظيم الغفور الشكور
العلي الكبير الحفيظ المقيم الحسيب الجليل الكريم الرقيب المجيب الواسع
الحكيم الودود المجيد الباعث الشهيد الحق الوكيل القوي المتين الولي الحميد
المحصي المبدع المعيد المحيي المميت الحي القيوم
الواجد الماجد الواحد الصمد القادر المقتدر المقدم المؤخر الأول الآخر الظاهر الباطن الوالي المتعالي البر التواب المنتكم العفو الرؤوف مالك الملك ذو الجلال والإكرام
المقصد الجامع الغني المغني المانع الضار النافع النور الهادي البديع الباقي
الوارث الرشيد الصبور الذي ليس كمثله شيء وهو السميع البصير اللهم صل أفضل الصلاة على أسعد المخلوقات كسيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم عدد معلوماتك ومداد كلماتك كلما ذكرك الذاكرون وغفل عن ذكره الغافلون.
أهلا وسهلا ومرحبا بكم، كل عام وأنتم بخير. اليوم 10/9/1446 هجري الموافق يوم الثلاثاء، يعني ما شاء الله تبارك الله. We are الله أكبر ولله الحمد. It is the 11th of March, which corresponds to the 10th of Ramadan in South Africa, Cape Town at home. All praise to our ancestors, our great mothers of the soul tribes of the Ahlul Kitab and the Ahlul Bayt, and all compassion to our fellow wives, daughters, and sisters, as well as our great fathers, mothers, and the Ummah. Today, mashallah, tabarakallah, we are ascending. We are ascending on the cosmic lines, as you all are, and we are following the astrology. Okay, astronomy, astrology. Okay, we want to watch and follow a celestial body, okay, which is like external, okay, something which we cannot touch, something we'll never ever be able to reach, okay, in our physical experience of space and time, okay. However, when it comes to astrology, then we want to distance ourselves from it, okay. That is all due to the fact that we had been invaded like by foreign aliens um, in our intellectual and in our conscious makeup as human, as natural, as indigenous, okay, as authentic, okay. Um, the north and the south is not the same brains, it's not the same functionality, it's not the same purpose, right? You cannot We cannot use the data of another system to feed a different system. It doesn't work like that. That's a clash of civilizations, okay, clash of wanting to grow out of your normal orbit. So when I want to confuse you, I give you something that's not going to stimulate you, right? And hence, this is what's happened is, as far as astrology is concerned, you can't even use that zodiac mind to apply it in a tropical zodiac environment like where we are in the south. You have to find the ancestors, your ancestors' mindset as to 1,000 years, 1,000,000 years, when you actually got to conscious. Was there a physical Adam or was it a metaphor? Okay. Now, just to put you as a fraternity that is now um, we're being overridden here in a psychological phenomenon. Okay. Um, as we now come to terms with the fact that it's no longer our time, Queen Elizabeth passed away 3 years ago. Nobody remembers her. Okay. If I pass away now, inshallah, nobody will remember me in the next 2 days or 3 days. It's life, people. What we are demonstrating by you understanding this phenomena is that you don't get carried away with things that is temporal. Okay? Farawadathu. And so this track of being misled, being fantasizing, having to be occupied, distracted, it's part of the walk in the forest here, okay? But it is also equally important that you don't stuck on that record, right? Now, what we have to understand is that um, just to give you a outline, I think I'm going to be able to match it in me, Talha. Um, when your civilization is going into a upgrade, okay, due to the stagnancy and due to the chemical invasions and due to the idolatry that we have gone into, okay, um, there's a lot of denial spells on it. There's a lot of facts that we don't want to come to terms with as a collective, whether it is Jews, Christians, wherever religion, wherever there is a philosophy, it's got nothing to do now with any of these kind of things. It's the fact that we have to come to terms with the fact that we have been substituted as a civilization. Okay, this is the core facts I am sharing with you people. Okay, um, you have to come to terms with the fact that there is a new methodology of understanding life now that you as an adult today of 70 years old or 60 years old, you still don't know who you are. You still cannot say what is your purpose here, and you have no idea where you're going to. So there's no way we can use the incoming civilization to build onto your and the onto our decomposed narratives. Okay, so the heavens, the cosmos, the universe, the astrology, the logic, the rationale has to now be upgraded in our lives. Okay, this is what we are currently been going through since 2020 in our immediate presence. Okay, and it needed you and I to realize that we were invaded, we were substituted, and we had to find our way out. Okay, either we change or we will have to live with that consequences. Okay, now you are in the 11th today, and if you look at what the weather report is in the sama, okay, in the conscious world where the lights never go off, okay, where you cannot die. Okay, you are running now on what they are going to start blurring the mirrors. Okay, reality and virtual. There's gonna be no difference between it. There's gonna be no it's the shadiness is going to be away. Yani, you cannot see whether something is virtual or real. Okay, you cannot differentiate, nor are you by the means of bringing in the comparison anymore. That is because the lines has merged now, and now this is total darkness that you are descending into as a collective, because you had to now realize, as I told you all the time for 5 years, okay, this boat was going to sink. This psychology, this religion, this all these things that you ever believed was real was going to take the plunge. Okay, now, one of these ways of you coming to terms with this is it's two-folded. Okay, they call it the black smoke. Okay, call it the sayha. It's where your lights are gonna dim. Okay, your previous reality is going to be erased. Okay, from your memory. You're gonna have memory lost, yani, severely now. Okay, because your ability to make a informed decision on what is virtual and what is authentic is very, very poor. Your dim lights, you need glasses now because your physicality, you have lost any essence. So whatever happens inside is now showing on the outside. Okay, so obviously, as vulnerable as we are as human beings, you're gonna hold on to something which doesn't exist, but you hold on to it because you have died. Okay, that's you have been replaced by a physical, an immortal you, instead of having to have found immortality, the akhirah, the what is understood as the aftermath. Okay, the post mortem. Okay, as human beings, it's a very, very difficult part for me as a normal, simple human being to really realize that I am living with very dead human beings in my age, in my time. I'm living with most of them that has lost purpose, lost vision, lost control. Yani, they have they have succumbed to their weakness. Okay, that's why the blurriness is coming now. So how long are you going to be an empathic how long are you going to be an empathy? Okay, how long are you going to water a garden that there is nothing going to grow from that garden? Okay, so this is the parallel and that we are living in at this moment in life. And now As I told you guys, all of you previously, your religion, your religious beliefs, yani your belief in how you're going to die, your belief in how you're going to meet a God, it's all cancelled in your conscious yani, persuasion of how you thought you're going to exit. Okay, that narrative, that combo, that composure, it's all gone. Okay, you are in deep loss, in a deep loss. Okay, and you actually have no idea because jy dink ek kan sê hey, ons is nou lekker slumse mense en ons gaan lekker Jannah toe en die res van die wêreld gaan almal Jannah toe. People, you are in for the greatest surprise of your life. The God that you contracted het uit berg gedry op jou uitgeraak, you please. Okay, now you're going to have to now redefine who is the shaitan. Okay, you had become the shaitan. I have become the shaitan in our physical capture. Okay, and knowing that God created the shaitan and God, Allah Almighty, controls the narrative of the shaitan. Okay, we are jammed back and front, up and down. We jammed here. Okay, um, at this moment in time, it's like yani illa ma rahima rabbi. It's not hopeless, it's just natural. Okay, God doesn't need one person, He doesn't need anyone. Okay, He doesn't need you to do Him a favor, and He doesn't need us um to uh, to think that we can be more pious than Him, because that's a fraudulent narrative. Okay, people, this that we are currently experiencing in our present conscious is the يوم الفصل. إن يوم الفصل كان ميقاتا. Okay, it is the dark that is now yani, separating the light that is separating from the dark. The jinn tribes that is now being yani, extradited, and the mu'minun, those who were guided, those who could read the signals, okay, they are being yani, extracted. Okay, that is what you're talking about, the dark, the smoke, because the amount of yani, confusion, okay, the amount of smoke screens, okay. um, Most of you don't know God. Most of you don't know Allah. Most of you don't know Qiyamah. Most of you don't know. You don't know. You're just parrots, just following blindly. Okay. Um, it's not a loss for Allah. It is a loss for a human tribe, because what normally would have happened in the normal circumstances, if you're part of a soul tribe and not a jinn tribe, okay, because what happens to yani قد سمع نفر من الجن, sometimes what happens is, as you go through your stages of evolution, you come from the dark. Jinn is the dark side, the unknown, not the unknown, the blurred side of who you are. So when you physically entrapped in the fact that you don't have access to your higher conscious, because that is controlled by the yani, prime creator, he opens up the escape, the trap door for you to go to the next stage of your perspectives and your uh, impressions, okay, and expressions, okay. So yani, you cannot yani, imagine something if you're not given that track, okay. That's reality, okay. So that you can only ascend to once you have realized that you have completed the four yani, the four reality yani, make reality shifts in your last paradigm, okay, where you came out of from, right? So at the time that there's a change and you and I did not complete our yani, rounds, then either yani, you go down with it or you try to reconcile as fast as you can. Okay, you are given 6 years in order to do the reconciliation, so that you can come out of that and you can get some yani, A. You can come out of that C, out of that that demolition. Okay, so If you're part of a soul tribe, as what is determined by the heavens and inscripted and inscribed in the DNA of the universal yani conscious, okay, when you're part like what we are, part of a soul tribe forever, for eternal, we know who we are, we know where we come to, we know the story, yani, okay. So at the time when there is now where you know that you know what, your house is going to be demolished, there's a need to find a new area where you're going to put up the new house that is now that you will have to go out and seek for it. But before you get to that, you got to close yani, the last age, the last exercise, the last conscious experience. You got to do it with integrity. Okay, you got to do it with yani, with compassion, and you got to do it with gratitude. Okay, so if you lived your last 50 years, 40 years in total yani, not total, kyk almal is gaan deur hulle phases, but you didn't lose control of yani, trying to keep as close as possible to the N1. Okay, for example, okay, I see spiral code. Okay, that is how you actually go where you need to be. There are soul tribes in Cape Town in that we get this naturally. Okay, if you're part of that family, it comes to you natural. Then what happens is that you have to now like the soul family, like Nabi Ibrahim, Nabi Yani Isa, like in your people's past beliefs. Okay, look, in this incoming system, there was never a human faculty that you saw, that you say that this is a physical prophet. You're only putting it in your imagination, but everything is dead because they're not alive. So, how does God upgrade that conscious level now? He puts it into a metaphorical term. Finish. The issue is solved. It's spiritual, it is not physical. You are not physical, you are conscious. Your conscious does not have any place, it has a space. It doesn't have a time, it is yani, in a space. Okay? So, the shift that is happening is why the youngsters are all compatible with living and being within themselves, because the God, the psychology, the rationale, it's all now about being internalized. Okay, we were externalized. Okay, we had to find something where we were frozen and that we instoned, and that is how we got caught up in great shirk by external forces, by jinn forces. Okay, they harvest your energy, they harvest your perception of life, they harvest, and that is how they suck you, where you become a slave of a system that Allah has no hand in it. It is fully yani, shirk orientated. Now we come out of that kind of yani, dilapidated house. So at the end of the day, when we found that there was a notice that was given by the heavens that the house is coming down, then you have to shift your paradigm. And as I said, you have to, people are of the soul tribes, like as per the Quran, like Surah Yusuf, yani, there is yani ayatun lisailin. The searchers are given their not ammunition, but they are given their feeds. Okay, they are given their instructions, they are given their paths as to how to get out of this entanglement if you were caught up in it, if you were too far straight off from the N1. Okay, so because there's now an N2 coming in, there's a new yani, system operational coming into civilization, and yani, it's something that you need to embrace, that is going to kill your truth and replace your truth with an upgraded truth. Okay, so the past age, if it becomes dark, it becomes shirk, because now you're going to see it for what it was, because you're coming into the clear. That is the dukhan that you have to come out of. Okay, nothing happening outside, people, nothing. The collapse and the crash and all this, it's all simulations that the bliss besig is om te speel. Okay, But you gotta steer clear here at this moment in time because you gotta be inside now. Plane crashes. You see, you are busy taking off. You got clearance. You got license to fly. You've been given a new track in which the whole world is astounded. But how is it possible that Allah would give these people? Allah like I'm so versin. Allah is so dom. Allah like so lullig. How kan hulle vir hulle gee so 'n move? But julle was eintlik what was happening, the Noah event, the mudslide, okay? Ons kyk af op mense en sê kyk, hey, dis mos 'n tromvoël man. Hey, jy lewe mos daar so 'n kriefgat man. Hey, kyk hoe lyk die jong man. Yo, die jong is vol tattoos. Hey, die persoon. But we don't listen to what they say. We don't listen. We think they've gone through the worst of experience in life. They've actually managed to pull out of that in order to bring the best out for humanity. Okay, that's part of Allah's work as how He sends the foot soldiers out. Okay, it's all about conscious people. It's what you could gather in a space of evolution where you can grow rapidly. There's no other dimension such as the third earth physical dimension where you can grow so exponentially. Okay, this is a very good area for growth. Okay, if you know your purpose, if you understand who you are. So the soul tribes, the Ahlul Bayt, they will now reconcile and re-narrate and upgrade the storyline, okay? Because there is now no more a physical Khadija. There is no more a physical Muhammad. There is no more a physical Adam. It's all metaphorical now. Now you have to now, because that is going to be now, in the new generation coming in, their memories are being cleaned. That doesn't exist in their lives anymore. They don't see that as a reality because their neurological order is internalized. Okay, so if you tell them of a God that is physical, that you must find forgiveness and pay on the outside, he's gonna think, but there was must okay, because that child and his rationale and psychology that is coming in now, it belies your truth. Okay, you can rebuka. Okay, that's when you become unconscious and you become self-righteous and egotistical. Dan gaan jy sien die hele ding unfold in present time. Hoeveel mense begrawe nie because hulle voel hulle is kafir. Die man is dood by julle wil gaan die man begrawe nie. Wat is julle regime? Own ons dan die wereld. Now this is how it's being exposed. Those religious constables, okay, those people that manifested God, they became God. They are actually now going to be advertised as the devil himself. Okay, the righteousness, the way how civilizations and other cultures influenced and invaded and protracted and occupied your divine connection it's been all severed now. Sy staan alleen nou. Almal van hulle is besig om hulle ding uit te sort and you just have to stand and wait now. Wat gaan nou my next God wees of gaan hulle nou renew die God wat nou doodgeval het? Okay? It's a sad situation that you are living through, and it's like we sound asleep in this whole thing, and not knowing that our great-grandchildren are going to be those who curses us because we didn't want to say that we knew what the problem was. We just closed our eyes because we're just concerned about ourselves. People, it is that time of our lives that we have to speak the truth. We had to speak the truth. And the most difficult part of this is that our own children will deny us. That's how the script is. Our own children. Hy wat sy gespend het soveel baie millions op, hy kan gaan vir jou kyk. See, you're not my father. You're a mushrik. That's how it's going to be. That's the same story like Ibrahim and his father. Okay? If a Nabi can have such a desperate experience with his very own, who are you and me? So now there is now a new discharge, and the Soul families now sets out new barrack lands, like new valleys, new minds, new eyes, new hearts, new family. Okay, they will now reassemble and count their losses. Okay, and the gains, of course, and now remodule the society as to how they would avoid what happened to their previous generation. This is what is taking place in our time now today. Thanks enough for Allah for the technological advancements, AI that has come in now, that is going to help the new generation much quicker to to conciliate, reconcile, and to get the resources out where it needs to be, information, the neural the neuro links out into the soul tribes. Okay, this is specifically just for soul tribes. It's not for the jinn tribes. Okay, it's not my work. It's not my appointment. We just put it out, people. We just it has to go out. Wama alika illa al and that is how we you pick up, you pick up, you pick up, and that is how it becomes a new civilization. This civilization will stand for many thousands of years, many thousands. All those that are part of this, their names will be mentioned, like you'll mention the name of Ali Imran, Ali Ibrahim. You will mention these people's names in your in for many thousands of years. They will say alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. They will say yani radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. It's same like Ibrahim and Abu Bakr and all these different things. People, it's almost time for for iftar, inshallah, for buka. Allah Ta'ala must accept our family, our ancestors' hard work to have granted us to find access into this new order. Okay, we are grateful for that. We are minashakirin, yani. We are really grateful, and we have to ensure that this next civilization, we have to secure the elderly and the children. The 2 points. That's the 2 poles. Okay? These are the going. May Allah Ta'ala accept. Shukran jazilan. Wa sallallahu ala Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa barik wa sallim. Wa salamun ala al-mursaleen. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Jazakallah.
يا مصطفى كل شيء